Morning, everyone. Welcome to this quick conversation with yours truly, Mr. O. Yes, it's a brand new Monday morning. It's a brand new week, and we are awake to do wonderful things again this week. How's been your weekend? Mine was good, right? Unfortunately, I couldn't come your way on Friday and over the weekend to complete our series that we began on the habit 7 of highly effective people. As we started last week, we wanted to be looking at, we recapped the habits, the 7 habits of highly effective people by Stephen Covey. And we zoomed in on habit number 7 because we are in the 7th month, number 1. And number 2, it is half of the year. And we just want to rethink and reshape a lot of things. And habit number 7 happened to be the habit that says sharpen the saw. Sharpen the saw. In other words, revitalize yourself, refresh, renew your strength, and it's in a lot of dimensions. So the first dimension we looked at was a physical renewal, where you sharpen the saw physically. I talked about taking good care of ourselves physically. Going for checkups, eating well, resting, and all that. Okay? And we zoom in on resting and some specific things that you can do, exercising, and all that. So the next one we want to look at, or the next dimension in sharpening our sword, is the spiritual part. And I believe this one resonates with almost all of us because one way or the other, we all have a certain level of spirituality. Yes, no matter who you are, you have a certain level of spirituality. We believe in certain things. If you're a Christian, you believe in God, you go to church, you pray and all that. That is your spiritual path. And if you're a Muslim, you go to the mosque, you pray and all that. And any other religion or any other spiritual path that you are on, we are all one way or the other spiritual. All right? So it is one of the dimensions that when you sharpen, when you renew, when you refresh it, it keeps you very solid. All right? As I said already, a blunt axe cannot cut any tree. A blunt knife cannot cut any onions. All right? Not even tomatoes. Because if it's blunt, it's blunt. What can you use it to cut? Is that okay? And just as a farmer goes to the farm to work, that farmer cannot afford to use tools that are blunt. If I mean blunt, it means they are not sharpened. You need it to be sharp. So as much as you need your body to be sharp, you need your spiritual senses to also be sharp. And how do you renew your spiritual senses? Everyone and how they do it. As a Christian, I am a Christian, so I use that path, right? And we always go back to the reference in the Bible that says, "They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength." Waiting upon the Lord and renew your strength, these are two different things, as I said last week. But what goes into the waiting is a lot. Some choose to fast. Some choose to go and sit on some mountain and pray. Some seek to go for some spiritual retreat. Some seek to go to some spiritual program somewhere. With some prophet, with some pastors, with some men of God or whatever. However you choose to do it, you have to find your own way of renewing your strength and waiting upon the Lord, right? And I know Muslims also go to Mecca. That's their spiritual journey and a whole lot. So irrespective of the spiritual path that you are on, you need to find a way to renew that strength, renew that thinking spiritually, because our spirit being is housed in the body, right? Nobody sees a spirit. But a renewed spirit is always sensitive to the outside world. Yes, a renewed spirit is always sensitive, and a sharpened spirit is always sensitive to the things around them. If your spirit is not sensitive, you could not pick certain telltales. You see, without even being religious, without even being affiliated to any religion, right? By our design, by our creation, humans were created to be very sensitive. That is why sometimes our ancestral, our forefathers will always tell us that if you mention somebody's name and you don't see the person, know that they've done what? Maybe they've passed on. Because there are times that you'll be sitting at home and you feel the presence of somebody say, the name just, comes to mind. So, oh, this person. Then within some few minutes or some few hours, either they will call you or they will appear in your house or something like that. You understand? And it's natural. It's natural. Our gut brain also speaks to us. You know, sometimes you tell us, I have this gut feeling. It's not a feeling, it's your brain that is processing things in a different way. Because we have the heart brain, we have the head brain, we have the gut brain. Is that okay? And that is what people will say, I have a feeling. I have the timing can say, you know, I feel strong, you know, something. I feel so strong about this that something bad is going to happen or something good is going to happen. That is your gut. And psychologists will always tell us to listen to our gut, right? Even though it's not all the time, yes. So that is that aspect, and you need to fine tune it. Yes, because sometimes your gut may speak, you may interpret it wrongly. Yeah. Sometimes you pick certain spiritual senses, certain things, but you misinterpret them. So you act on them wrongly. But if you sharpen your spirit, if you sharpen and renewed, and you are always fresh and tuned in and connected you will be able to pick certain telltales. You will be able to pick certain signals, even from far away before they even happen. Right? That is one thing that people will say, oh, me, I see things, so if I dream, it comes true. It is because your spirit is so sharp, you've renewed it, you've allowed it to pick certain things, even around you, around your environment, around your workplace. You could feel, you could have certain, intuitions. And you're like, this may happen, and I don't feel good about this. Let me pray about this. Let me talk to somebody about this. That is how it is. And that is how you can tell if you have been renewed spiritually. I will not go into it too much, because if I try to go into it too much, I may sound like I'm preaching. I may sound like I'm preaching. And I know we are all diverse. We have diverse understanding of things. Dennis, good morning. We have diverse understanding of things, and I believe we will all find a way to retune, to refresh, to replenish that energy. Sometimes you need to be sensitive to the kind of people around you. Yeah. You need to be sensitive not only to the bad things, your receptacles, not only to the bad things, but to the good ones as well. Sometimes you need to be able to pick up signals when to give out some money and when not to. Yeah, there are some people that come to your life, you feel, I need to do this for them, and it just come. And when you do it, that is the time they will tell you, do you know this is what I was going through? This and this was what I was going through, and I needed this money for this thing, and I needed this particular referral for this particular business, and you came in at the right time. You understand? Because you are able to pick the signals from far away. It is not any magic. Your human body has been designed like that in the first place. Okay, by default, your human body is designed like that. Then we as humans add the religious part and all the other parts that we add to it. It's just like a student. If you don't learn, you fail your exams. It's as simple as that. We're all students of life on this journey called life. If you don't learn, if you don't, put yourself to studies, you will fail at so many things. It's as simple as that. There's no argument about it. But if you keep doing the same thing, sharpening, coming back, sharpening, you realize that, you become very, very, very hypersensitive. There are people who are very hypersensitive. They could peel tales and they have not even been to any church. They have not read any book. They've not even gone to any prayers. But they could pick things in their environment as that. You know? There are people who have those exceptional skills. And there are those of us who have to develop it before it becomes sharper. Mhm. And once you develop your inner being, the spirit, to be sharper, the ears become sharper, all the other senses become sharper. So you can hear things that nobody hears. Your mind can pick things that nobody is picking up. Your eyes will see things that nobody is able to see. That is how it is. And I believe we all cannot attain the highest level, the hyper level, but to the best of our abilities, we can attain a good level in order to, because listen, if your spiritual being is sharp, renewed, it protects you. It's a protection mechanism so that you know that, I don't need to go to this place. You know, there are people who tell you that I had this feeling that I shouldn't go here, but I didn't listen and I went. You know, that kind of talk. I had this feeling, I had this thing that I shouldn't have gone here. I shouldn't even go out with this guy. I shouldn't date this guy, but I did, and this is what I've gotten. You know, so they always speak in the hindsight that I wish I had not made this decision. Sarah, morning. I wish I had not made this decision. I wish I had done this. I wish I had gone this way. You know, so it's all part of us, and I believe whichever way you can, through prayer, through fasting, through reading of whatever spiritual book you are into, through constant intentional renewal and bonding with whatever you believe in, makes your spirit sharp. Yeah. And for us, we will say you pray, you fast, you read the word, you meditate. Yeah. Christians, sometimes if you say meditate, they think it is about, no, meditation is good. You say meditate on the word day and night. You understand? Meditation is just like doing something on a repeat. It becomes part of you. You can close your eyes and do it. Yeah, you can close your eyes and do it because it's become part of you. So you don't really, you don't struggle to do it. Yeah. It comes. Just like being a teacher. You have taught the thing over and over and over again. So it becomes normal to do what? To just watch the class and start delivering. you don't struggle. You don't have to go and sit and do any much reading. But you see, even as teachers, as doctors, as nurses, what do? They always tell us to go for refresher courses to sharpen our skills. Yeah. Companies pay for you to go on retreat for a 3-day training, a 4-day training, a 5-day training. They do that. If our schools demand that you go for professional trainings, either within the school or outside the school. You understand, Thomas? Good morning. So it is part of us. Whichever way you find it okay. Mr. Jerry, good morning to you. Whichever way you find it appropriate, renew that spiritual part of your life. It is very important. It sharpens your receptacles. It sharpens your senses. and it shows outside and in everything that you do. All right. And to add up to it, it also helps you to know when to type or what not to type. Trust me, this social media these days, everybody is typing anything. If you are not in the spirit, if your spirit self is not sharp, you may get up, write things that will come back biting you. Yesterday I made a post and I talked about it a little bit, that everybody is allowed a certain level of stupidity, but people are abusing it. We all have that right, but people are abusing the right. It was a funny thing, but people are abusing that right. You are abusing your right to be foolish. Your right to be to be crazy a little bit. No, don't abuse it. You must be very circumspect. And sometimes these things you can only do that when your spirit is, very sharp. All right. So let's sharpen our spirits, man. Let's sharpen that part of us. Okay. Tomorrow, I hope, and hopefully we'll talk about the other dimensions, because there are two more. And if all these dimensions are working in synchronization or synchronized, trust me, your soul will be much sharper than you think it should be. Is that okay? All right. I thank you all for engaging. I will see you in the next one. All right. I'll see you in the next one. Today, let's take it bit by bit. This week, make sure you pay attention to yourself, concentrate physically and spiritually. Start sharpening those swords, because it's the second part of the year, the second half of the year. If by now things are not falling in place, ask yourself questions. What did I do right? What am I doing wrong? What do I need to change? How do I need to go? That is where it comes. You have a goal to reduce your weight by 30 kg by the end of the year. You have not even gone into 2 kg. What do I need to do? Do I need to change my diet? Do I need to change how I process things? So many aspects of you has to change. That is why we are doing this. And I hope it will help somebody to get back themselves. Even if you have gone off track, just use this opportunity to get yourself back on track. It is very, very crucial, very, very important, and I believe it will help all of us. All right. I thank you for engaging with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a blessed week. Have a wonderful day, and let's keep sharpening our swords. Adios.